lovely Britta Martin here racing at Ironman WA, and you kind of rocketed onto everyone's radars at Port Mac a couple of months ago at the 70.3, where you were 11 minutes down on the run and had to make that time up over a half marathon. Your run is outstanding. Talk us just through how that race went for you.
Yeah, really enjoyed that race. I had a very good one. I'm never a very strong swimmer, so that's a bit my problem. So I'm always behind after the swim, but it wasn't too bad at that race. And then on the bike, I just normally really try to catch up to it. And I did feel right on the bike, but Kat Baker, she just extended the lead by minute after minute. Now my partner was on the course and he kept telling me the gaps to the front, and I just thought, oh my god, what's happening here? But so I got to the transition and I just hooted over the microphones that it was 11 and a half minutes or something. So I just thought, you can't do anything about it now. Just go as hard as you can and see what happens. And then halfway through the run, or already after 5 or 6 Ks, I knew that I caught up quite quickly to her, and then I just thought, okay, I'll just give everything now and see what happens. And I made it at the end.
And won your first 70.3 race.
Yeah, that was my first one, so that was really good. Especially I'm trying to qualify for Hawaii next year, or at least I give it a go. So every single point is quite important for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So just with that mindset, when you're chasing off the bike, when some of the others have got a big lead, here in WA, very flat course. You said to me earlier that you're quite good on the bike in hilly courses like at Ironman France and courses like that. Are you going to have the same mindset when you come off the bike here? Is it just going to be go hell for leather on the run?
Probably more or less, because like I said, I really absolutely love hilly courses, and that's normally when I make up a lot of time. But here on the flat course, I did ride the course a little bit on Tuesday, and it's just dead flat. So and it's gonna be really hot. So I probably try not to freak out and panic on the bike course, because I do believe that this race is decided on the run, because you have to get a lot of nutrition on the bike, and otherwise I think it's quite easy to die in the last case on the run here. So I just try to not panic on the bike and just try to get closer to the front, but I definitely will not catch the goose, I would say. But then just try to give everything on the run and try to catch up there.
It is a flat run as well as a flat bike course, and on the run there's no cover. You're out in that sunshine at the hottest part of the day. You're from New Zealand, or you spent the last 5 years in New Zealand, where it's a bit chillier at the moment. How are you actually going to cope in the heat? Are you okay in the heat?
I love the heat. I mean, in New Zealand it's freezing cold. I'm always cold in New Zealand. That's a bit of my problem. But I do love the heat. So
now I want to go back to Challenge Roth earlier this year. You've had some great races at the Challenge events. Second at Challenge Wanaka at the start of the year to Gina Crawford, who pretty much is owning that race the last few years. But at Roth, you did a sub 5 hour bike ride and then ran a 3:04. I think it was roughly that off the bike.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Did you imagine that you'd be that high up in the field?
I knew that it would have a very strong field because it was the European Championships, so I did expect a very strong field. And then, I did believe that I could have a really good race, but I did get injured before, so I couldn't run at all the 4 weeks leading up to Roth. So I got pretty nervous, and I had no idea how my run would go when I started the race, and because I just hadn't run at all, more or less. So I did believe that I could have a good race, but I just had no idea how I would last in the last 20 Ks, and I did die down in the last. I did die a little bit in the last 20 Ks just because I didn't have the miles anymore. Yeah. But I was super happy with the race, and I couldn't have been happier for sure.
3:04 off no run training for 4 weeks is pretty impressive.
No, I was really happy. I did a little bit of aqua jogging and stuff like that, but not much at all. So I was really happy at the finish, but I was pretty smashed.
So let's look at your form leading into Roth and compare it to leading into Ironman WA. How are you feeling in comparison to Roth?
Yeah, no, I do feel pretty good at the moment. I have to say, I had most of my Ironman so far. I had a bit of drama happening in my leading up to it. I always got injured, and in Roth I couldn't run the last 4 weeks. And Ironman Nice the year before that, I actually ran it with a broken foot, the marathon. So I was injured before that, so that wasn't that good either. But this time it's probably almost the first time that I haven't been injured leading up to it. So I'm quite happy with how my training has been going, and I just hope for a good race now.
What? Sorry, a broken foot doing an Ironman. What? Just as a matter of interest, what time did you do at Nice with a broken foot?
Oh, I did in the run. I did a 3:20 at the end, but it was horrible. I never ever want to do that again. And after that, I couldn't walk for 6 weeks after that race, and it was just on crutches. But that was the most pain I've ever had in my whole life. So
yeah, fair enough. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, and all the very best on Sunday. I'm personally looking forward to seeing you on two legs on that pavement and ripping up that run course.
Yeah, thank you very much.